What did you expect me to say?
I didn't necessarily expect you to say anything, but I didn't expect for you to go on a podcast and speak about it. I will say that.
Why not?
You won't believe how quickly everything just spiraled out of control. What started as a few quiet whispers behind the scenes has now turned into a full-blown storm, and at the center of it all is Destiny Payton, finally saying what many people believe she's been holding back for years. And the name that keeps coming up?
The part of the harassing communications was you sending the picture.
No,
Right.
no, it wasn't.
Okay, that's the question I got to ask. The question is, how do you feel about that? That makes me lose respect for Martell.
If it was true.
If it was true, yeah. I didn't
So
say
now
it was
that
true.
you're
I
saying it
assumed it was true.
Marsau Scott. Now, here's the thing. Fans thought they had already heard every rumor, every accusation, every bit of drama surrounding him. But what nobody expected was for Destiny to step forward and shake the entire narrative in one move. The internet didn't just react, it exploded. Social media timelines filled up within minutes, people picking sides, breaking down her words, replaying clips, and asking one big question. Is this finally the truth coming out, or is this just another layer of reality TV chaos? Because what Destiny revealed, it wasn't small, it wasn't subtle, it was bold, direct, and honestly a little shocking. And now everything people thought they knew about Marsau is being questioned. So let's talk about it. Let's really get into what was said, what led up to it, and why this situation has people completely losing their minds right now.
Have mature people in the fold, it can be a balance. And for me, I felt like I was that person that could balance it, but I didn't even really realize or know that that there was an issue with me being friends with Martell until sitting in that scene with her and her saying what she said to me.
Destiny didn't just appear out of nowhere with all this energy. Her story has been building for a long time. And if you've been paying attention, you already know she's not new to tension, conflict, or being misunderstood. When she first came into the spotlight, she wasn't trying to be messy or loud. She actually came across as someone grounded, someone who valued loyalty, friendship, and keeping things real even when cameras were rolling. Her connection with Melody Shari played a big role in how fans saw her at the beginning. That friendship felt genuine. It felt supportive. During one of the most difficult periods in Melody's life, Destiny stood beside her. She listened, she defended her, and she made it clear that she wasn't going to let her friend go through things alone. And for a while, people respected that. It made her relatable.
Okay, when you feel like you were getting information.
It was okay.
And then for you to think that I would give him information, that's not girl code. So there was never that exchange because, again, he's a man.
Right.
And we're both going through divorce and we're both going through the trauma of it.
But reality TV has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. Slowly, cracks started to show. Conversations that used to feel easy became tense. Disagreements started turning into full arguments. And then came the shift that really caught everyone's attention. Destiny getting closer to Letitia Scott. That alone was enough to raise eyebrows, because everyone knew the history there. To some people, it felt like a betrayal. To others, it felt like Destiny was just navigating her own path and refusing to be boxed in by old alliances. But either way, it changed how she was viewed. Suddenly, she wasn't just the loyal friend anymore. She was unpredictable. And once that label sticks, everything you say or do gets questioned. At the same time, Destiny was dealing with her own personal struggles. Her divorce wasn't just something happening quietly in the background. It was emotional, public, and heavy. Being a single mother, running a business, trying to stay strong while also being judged by thousands of people online, that's not easy for anyone.
I wanted to give him the opportunity to talk to her because he actually had something with her for years. So it's not just this girl thing going back and forth, but you as a man, you need to step up and tell her what it is.
If my friend is dating a dude and I met this dude through my friend, I'm not gonna go secretly marry him, then try to tell her later.
Secret.
And you could see it. There were moments where her frustration slipped through, moments where she seemed tired of having to explain herself. But even with all that, she never really backed down. If anything, pressure seemed to make her more vocal, more direct, more willing to push back when she felt like things weren't being said honestly. And that brings us to now, because when Destiny speaks now, people listen, even if they don't always agree. Marsau, on the other hand, has always carried a very different kind of presence. Confident, strategic, always seeming like he's 10 steps ahead of everyone else in the room. He built his image on being a businessman, someone who understood how to move, how to think, how to stay in control.
Kind of had a little rough start to the beginning of this week. I saw that Marsau went live yesterday, and he's sitting over there gloating and everything about some of the notoriety that he's gained because of the fight that happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
But here's the twist. That same confidence has also been one of the biggest reasons people question him. From early on, there were rumors, whispers about his behavior, about things not lining up, about moments that didn't quite make sense. And while nothing was ever fully proven, the doubts never really went away. He denied a lot, brushed things off, sometimes even laughed at the accusations, and for a while that worked. People either believed him or just didn't have enough evidence to push back. But the rumors kept coming back, again and again, like something unfinished. And then Destiny stepped in. What nobody expected was how direct she would be. This wasn't vague. This wasn't her hinting or throwing shade. She went straight to the point. During a live session, she started opening up about things she claimed had been happening behind the scenes. And the way she said it didn't sound like someone guessing. It sounded like someone who had been watching closely for a long time.
She talked about manipulation, about how certain narratives were carefully controlled to make some people look like the problem while others stayed clean. She hinted at situations that didn't match what the public had been told. And then came the moment that really shifted everything, when she addressed the cheating rumors. But here's what made it different this time. She didn't present it like gossip. She spoke about it like it was something she believed to be real, something she had either seen, heard, or been told by people she trusted. And even though she didn't drop names or give full details, the confidence in her tone made people pay attention. The internet didn't waste any time reacting. Clips from her lives started spreading everywhere. People slowed down her words, analyzed her expressions, debated every sentence. Some were fully on her side, saying this was the truth finally coming out. Others pushed back, saying she was crossing a line, bringing private matters into the public just to stir things up. But Destiny didn't stop there. She followed it up with posts that didn't directly name anyone, but were clearly connected. Messages about loyalty, about karma, about people thinking they can hide behind a certain image while doing something completely different in real life. And those posts, they added fuel to the fire. Because now it wasn't just about one live session. It felt like a pattern, like she was slowly peeling back layers instead of dropping everything at once. Meanwhile, Marsau stayed relatively quiet at first, and that silence, it only made things louder. People started asking why he wasn't responding. Was he ignoring it? Was he preparing something? Or was there truth to what was being said? And then the conversations got even deeper. Fans started going back to old episodes, old interviews, old clips, looking for moments that suddenly felt different in this new context. Things that once seemed harmless now looked questionable. Jokes that once seemed light now felt uncomfortable. It's crazy how fast perception can change.
And let's not forget Letitia, because she's right in the middle of all this. As his wife, her position is complicated. People are watching her closely, wondering if she'll speak, defend, question, or stay silent. And that kind of pressure, it's intense. Because at this point, it's not just about reality TV anymore. It's personal. It's real life being pulled into public conversations where everyone feels like they have an opinion. Some fans believe Destiny is telling the truth and finally standing up for what she knows. Others think she's letting emotions guide her and creating more chaos than clarity. And honestly, both sides are loud right now. But here's the thing that really hits. No matter which side you're on, this situation has changed how people see everything. The show, the relationships, the trust between cast members. It all feels different now. And for Destiny, this moment carries weight. Because speaking out like this, it comes with consequences. People will question her motives. They'll dig into her past. They'll try to discredit her. But at the same time, there's also a sense that she's done holding things in. For Marsau, the impact is just as real. Whether the claims are proven or not, once something like this is out there, it sticks. It shifts how people look at you. It creates doubt where there might not have been any before. And for everyone connected to them, it's like a ripple effect. Friendships get tested, loyalties get questioned, and the line between truth and perception becomes harder to see. What makes this even more intense is how public it all is. There's no privacy here. Every reaction, every silence, every post, it's all being watched, discussed, and judged in real time. And that kind of exposure, it can break things. Because behind all the drama, behind the headlines and the clips and the comments, these are real people dealing with real consequences. Relationships don't just bounce back from this overnight. Trust doesn't rebuild easily once it's shaken like this. But maybe the biggest question right now is this: where does it go from here? Does Destiny reveal more? Because it definitely feels like she hasn't said everything yet. Does Marsau finally respond and address it directly? And if he does, will people believe him? And what about Letitia? Does she continue standing firm? Or does this push her to start asking deeper questions? There are so many unknowns, and that's exactly why people can't look away. Because this isn't just drama anymore. It's a turning point, one of those moments that changes everything moving forward. And whether you believe Destiny or not, you can't deny one thing: she shook the table, completely. Now the only thing left to see is who's ready to deal with what falls off next.